Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. We are in the fourth verse. Brahmadi sthavaranteshu vairagyam vishayeshvanu yathaiva kaka vishtayam vairagyam tadhi nirmalam. And here the indifference that we have towards the excreta of a crow, such indifference has to be towards the objects of enjoyment of the world. That is vairagya. That is vairagya. That means you won't even give a second thought about the excreta of a crow. Same way, you should not give a second thought. Meaning what? Your attention is on the divine. Your attention is not on the world of objects, world of possessions, etc., etc. And where does this? What does this world constitute? It constitutes from microscopic atom to Brahmaji. Everything that comes in between. And what comes in between? All the 14 lokas. So we are not aspiring for Swarga, we are not aspiring for Pitruloka, we are not aspiring for Brahmaloka, we are aspiring for the truth. But here Vairagya is not about truth, Vairagya is about disinterestedness, indifference, weaning your mind and senses away from everything that the world stands for. And in this way, Vairagya can be two types. One is Aparavairagya and Paravairagya. One is that Vairagya which comes and goes, is the lower type of Vairagya. What is that? It's called Kshanik Vairagya. It comes when someone passes away from in our life, someone near and dear passes, you go to the Shmashan Ghat, or during the Shrad, etc., and you suddenly the truth of life dawns upon your mind, and you say, oh, this is what my journey is, one day I will be also burning here, and there is a sudden disinterestedness in the whole world. But how does it last? Till you get back home. And you want to daba ke khana uske baad. So that is not the one which we are talking about. But it is good that these things happen in our life, because they become a window of opportunity for us to reassess where we stand in our own eyes, in our own mind. So keep reassessing, and continuously keep inquiring, what is the nature of this world? Is it permanent? Is it ephemeral? Is it changing? And if it is changing, it is not worthy of being associated with, because it can only give you pain. It can only give you irritation. It can only give you, and to that changing world you are attached to. And then imposing all the emotional baggage that is actually not there. And Vairagya is that, and only when we wean away from this world are we going to be able to perform to our maximum. Wherever there is attachment, wherever there is desire, our performance suffers. When you are free, your performance is at its best. And so these are some markers. You apply it in your life, not with force, gently, sahaj, naturally. Whenever you are free with a cup of tea, I was sitting in the morning with a tea she gave me, and I was just looking out. Sometimes बीच में वो news सुन रहा था, but in between, oh okay. Those are the times that you don't succumb to loneliness. You don't succumb to now all this energy I have, all this, I'm free, I can do anything I want. Anything I want means what? There's only one thing to do, that is remember the Lord. And in this way, let us become an instrument to bring about the highest good. Why the politicians are not able to bring about a betterment of the country? Because they have vested interest. They are not free. They don't have vairagya towards their children, towards their relatives, towards their pocket, towards their bank account, towards their property portfolio. They want to only fill up their coffers and leave the country at its mercy. But when someone comes who is a vairagi, who is not interested in himself, but is working only for the higher good, then you see the difference in the country. And same thing will happen in home also. When you are attached, you cannot have a right perspective of the family. When you are detached, then you have the right perspective of the family. Same thing in your mind also. When you are attached to your desires, thoughts, past, future, you cannot have the right perspective of life. But when you are a sakshi of whatever is coming in the mind, you have the right perspective. And you'll naturally, in that right perspective, you will choose something which is greater, which is something higher, which is for the good of all, not only good of me and my family. Nityamatma swarupam hi drishyam tadviparitagama ritagama evam yo nishchaya samyak samyak viveko vastuna savai. Nityam atman swarupam hi. Atman, the seer, the drashta, in itself is alone permanent, the seen. In other words, this Paramatma Tattva, this Atma Tattva itself is the seer and itself is the seen. And itself is the instrument of knowledge also. But initial stages, when we say neti neti, that you withdraw from the world, you withdraw from the senses, you withdraw from the mind, you withdraw from the thoughts. We are saying, all this I am not and I am the Atma. That will bring about Vairagya. But after having come to the epitome of Vairagya and discriminated properly, the second part is Anvaya. Anvaya means inclusivity. And what is inclusivity? That just like man alone is expressing as the brother, the husband, the son, one alone appearing as three. Similarly, the Atma alone as if is appearing as drashta, drishya and darshana, seer, seen and seeing, hearer, heard and hearing, waker, waking and waking experience, dreamer, dream and dream experience. All these triputi triad that goes to make a thought, they are all nothing but Atma. But while you are caught up in body identification, it is very difficult to understand this. In fact, you will never be able to understand it. You can appreciate it, but it has to become your direct experience. And in this way, so this is Nityam Atma Swarupam hi drishya tad viparitagam Evam yo nischaya samyak viveko vastuna savai. So what is discrimination? Discrimination is that not till now what I was telling you, that which is real and that which is imaginary. This is discrimination. That which is constant and that which is changing is discrimination. Here what is discrimination is being told in aparokshanubhuti, because that definition comes from Vivek Chodamani. Here what is being told? Discrimination is coming to this firm conviction that Atma alone is expressing as the seer as well as the seen. The subject is also the Atma, the object is also the Atma. Without subject and object, a thought cannot be created and the instrument of knowledge. So both is Atma. Then only Anvaya will happen, then only inclusivity will happen. Then only you will see, you will be able to realize without a thought that you are the material cause of the creation. Ishvara knows that. How does he know it? Without a thought. It is his natural disposition. And that natural disposition is yours also because you are part of him. So call it Ishvara, call it Atma, call it Paramatma. Water is the material cause of the whole, all the waves. Story over. As water, all waves are, the water is not disturbed by the waves. But as a wave, you are disturbed by all other waves. See? So here Vivek is that we come to recognize there is only one without a second. Ekameva dvitiya. There is no otherness. There are no differences. There is no separation. Don't think Atma is one and seer, seen, seeing is second. And this Atma is separate to the seer, seen, seeing. Can you separate water from the wave? No. Exactly the same way. You cannot separate the Atma from the Triputis. Meaning, you cannot separate Atma from the mind. You cannot separate, and mind is, how do you know there is a mind? Because there are thoughts. You cannot separate yourself from the thoughts. Everything in this creation is known by you by way of thoughts. So you cannot separate yourself from the creation. You are one with the creation. This is logic. At the same time, it is the eternal truth. As long as you are thinking, it will never click. And when it clicks, there will be no thinking. है ना मजेदार? कौन आया? So in this continuously changing world, there is one changeless principle, that is the witness of all the changes, and that you are, and that principle is not other than the changes also. This is what we just now concluded. This and the name of that continuous principle, that non-changing principle, is Atman. And what is the changing principle? Mind. But because mind is changing doesn't mean that it is not pervaded by Atman. It is. And in this way, the seen, the drishya padartha is everything other than this witnessing consciousness is termed as drishya padartha. I have already explained that. Continuing, in other words, drishya padartha is the world, this body, the senses, the mind, and the intellect. Well, breath also. So everything that is having a flux is drishya padartha. Everything that is continuously modifying, that is drishya padartha. And everything that is modifying necessarily appears as a thought in your mind. That is a drishya padartha. Continuing, Sadaiva vasanātyāgah shamoyamiti shabditaha nigraho bahya vrittīnām dama ityavidhīyate. Now what is dama? Sadaiva vasanātyāgah Shama and as well as Dhamma, both are told. Abandonment of all desires at all times is called Shama. Shama means where Dhamma is control of your senses, Shama is control of your mind. And what is control of mind? That your mind is not hijacked. Your mind is not hijacked by the desires, by the fears. See? And restraining your senses from getting involved in the world of name and form is called as Dhamma. Shama, Dhamma. Can you control your mind without controlling the senses? For temporarily you can. With drugs you can. With alcohol you can. With sleep you can. With any type of intoxication you can. But it is temporary. But when? Because dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate. That goes on. We told you. So what is that? Whenever you think about something, attachment for that thing is created. When there is attachment for something, even if you have seen it once or twice in passing, then the desire for that will be created. See, when your mind has become desire free, means it is not thinking about anything. It is not, therefore it is not attached to anything. If it is not attached to anything, it is not desiring anything. Mind we are talking about. Desire is not in your senses, desire is in your mind. So when your mind has weaned away, why it has weaned away? There is no data coming in. Where is the data coming in from? From the five senses. So to merely control the mind is difficult without controlling the senses. One must. That is why it was told. This is the what is that? Vivek, Vairagya, Shatkasampatti. Shatkasampatti. In that Shatkasampatti, the first comes. First we saw Vairagya, then we saw Vivek. Now we are seeing. And again, one more thing I wanted to add here was that more the Vairagya, the more refined the Vivek is. More the Vivek, deeper is the Vairagya. And then now Shatkasampatti, the Shama and Dhamma. So choose not to get involved unwanted. Some kids I see at night, they will see ghost movies or read ghost stories and then go to sleep, and then they say, I didn't have good sleep, I had bad dreams, blah blah blah. Why? You are doing disservice to yourself. So if you want to, even with your children, if you want to do, then show them Ramayana or Krishna or Hanuman or Ganapati or whatever. Sing bhajans with them. Avoid negative data. So again, remember Shatkasampatti, the Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. This is when you have done Vivek and when you have Vairagya, that Vivek, to make it stable, to make it steady, to make Vairagya steady, for that the Shatkasampatti is practiced. To make it steady. Every one of us have Kshanik Vairagya when we go to cremation ground. Or when things are not going your way and you are in depression, that is Vairagya only. Depression is Vairagya. But it is not born out of discrimination. It is born out of putting your hands up in front of the circumstances. It is born out of your inability to handle the circumstances, understand the circumstances. There it goes. Why is it happening to me? I think I'm not good enough. Go into vairagya. Stop being social. Don't go out and meet people. Don't talk to anyone. See? One lady, many years ago, she's still living there, somewhere in some part, Virginia, I think, in United States. And 2 daughters and 1 husband. And every day she's doing Devi Upasana. Every day, full puja. She's a professor. Doing puja, this, that, everything. Studying scriptures, writing japa, blah, everything going on. And there is no harmony in the house. The children are not talking to, both the girls are not talking to her. They don't want to be in her presence. The husband is also had enough. Why? Over spirituality. Over spirituality. And then that day she was sitting in front of the Lord, the goddess, and she must have done some puja or whatever. And she says, why? It must be in her mind, why I'm not, my family is not talking to me, why my children are separated from me, in the sense they are not even wanting to be in my company. You have become touch me not, because all the time spirituality. You don't enjoy seeing a movie with them, enjoy a pizza with them, go out for a drive with them. Why? Only puja. And then what happens as a result? Holier than thou attitude. I'm better than them, I'm more spiritual, they are stupid, they don't know anything. They are wasting their life. And what is come into your pocket, into your lap? Indifference from everyone. Non-inclusion from everyone. Wherever you go, people are avoiding you. And she was sitting in front of the goddess, and this must be going on for few months and years. So she said, please give me an answer, Devi. And after saying that prayer, please guide me, where am I going wrong? She couldn't see. When you are in so deeply entrenched in such type of thinking, you are not able to see because you are not the witness. You are attached to the puja. You are attached to the japa. You are attached. Either you go and do it with bhav and go all the way. Not worried about what others are thinking. But even we see Tukaram, we see Jnaneshwar Maharaj, we see Ramana Maharishi, he was quiet, but people were attracted to him. He didn't become touch me not. See? And then she came to her laptop and opened the laptop like this, and my website was there, or my YouTube channel was there. Google keeps throwing it. And she saw, and immediately she called Australia. And 1 hour pouring out her problems. I said, you stop doing the puja. Then everything will fall in place. Stop doing satsang. Stop going anywhere. Then what do? Go for movies, eat pizza, be normal, be silly. He says, oh, but spirituality is bad then? I said, it is bad if your whole family is against you. If wherever you go, people are avoiding you, then something is wrong going on. Spirituality has become a load on your head. No, that is, but it is so difficult now, I am so entrenched in it. I said, fortunately, Anubhavji was going there. I said, go and talk to him. He also said exactly the same, stop puja. But after that, I never got any call, so means things sorted.
She's watching movies.
Watch movies. I watch movies. I take children every year, twice I take children to movies. Whether it is those animated movies, not necessarily Bhagwan ka movie, but like Shrek and all that, or Kung Fu Panda, the latest came. We were about 10, 15 kids, all from young age till grown up, to teenage, and some parents also. About 15, 20 of us. We bought the tickets, we went for a movie, had an ice cream, ate popcorn, enjoyed, and came back. Why not? Yeah. So there are two things from where to what the mind gets attached. The stimuli in the mind comes from two places. Just now I told you one from the senses. One stimuli comes from outside. Tell me, where does the second stimuli come from? From inside. Where? From the mind, from the vasanas, from the memories. So sometimes the memories and the vasanas, they create a havoc in our mind by again and again repeating themselves, and those are the stimuli. And then if that stimuli from the memory is not good, we regret, I should not have done that, and we feel guilty that why did I do that, etc., etc. And the other one is from the outside, and that also becomes the cause of our desire. So either we don't want to experience those old memories, or if we have some good memories, we want to repeat them in this life. But what happened that time and what you are today is totally two different things. You have changed. So when our mind is totally abandoned or stopped giving value and importance to both the stimuli, one coming from outside and one coming from inside, then the mind is said to be in shama. And in this way, vishayebhya paravrittihi paramoparatirhisa sahanam sarva dukkhanam titiksha sa shubhamata. So here now first one was shama, second was dhamma, now it is uparama. Uparama and titiksha, two of those shatkasampattis are taken. Turning away completely from all sense objects is the height of uparati. Uparati, it's very ambiguous when they say it like this, turning away completely, meaning in your mind there is no urge to be involved with any sense objects, internal or external. Such people, sometimes you will see their senses are open, but they are not available. It's a waking coma. Normally uparama means what? That we are withdrawn. Uparati ho gayi hai. Uparati means we are withdrawn. But here the uparati here, mind also was withdrawn in shama, senses were withdrawn in dhamma. Uparati means even if the senses are open, mind is not ready to leak out of the senses to get attached to the world. See, that is uparati. And even if we are withdrawn from the world, yet the world will continue to throw whatever it is programmed. And what is that? Challenges will keep coming: heat, cold, hunger, thirst, likes, dislikes, people coming in your company and saying, like this morning, spicy. Add some salt and nimbu and finish it off. But it comes. See, someone was washing my feet, someone's house, and they used bloody hot water. And they forgot to add cold water to it. पाद सेवा करनी है कि जल से अग्नि सेवा करनी है. So then what do? You scream at them or what? ठीक है, गलती हो गई और क्या. Take it in the stride, joyfully. Make a joke out of it. Don't become serious when things are not going the way you want them to go. Life is not a straight line. Straight line comes only when you are dead on the monitor. Otherwise, it's continuously up and down, up and down, up and down. And so is life. Breath is not a continuous breath. It's in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. Vision is not continuous vision. There is blinking going on in between. Words are not continuously, you're not hearing anything. There is word, then there is a gap, then there is a word, then there is a gap. If you go beyond it, then you will see the Omkar Dhvani which is pervading the word that you will hear. But that also only for temporarily, it will not be permanent. So in this way, patiently, joyfully, titiksha means endurance, perseverance. And how do you, मजबूरी का नाम महात्मा गांधी नहीं. When difficulties come, you endure it joyfully, without complaint. And that is titiksha. And in this way, titiksha and uparati, it leads one is blankness of mind. Many times you have come across people, or it may have happened to you also, blankness of mind. But uparati must lead us to equanimity, equipoise, balanced approach towards everything. Balanced meaning you are not against good, you are not against bad, you are not against heat, or you are not against cold, but you choose to remain non-reactionary to anything that the world is throwing at you. That is uparati. नहीं तो थोड़ी सी ठंड, कपड़े पहन लो ना, खत्म करो काम. Or do ujjayi. If you do ujjayi, heat will be generated, then you will move around in t-shirt when everyone is wearing jackets. So when there is uparati, then there is no urge in such a person to gain anything in life, to experience anything in life. But he is not denying what is coming towards him. And when sometimes very, very interesting things, attractive things, fascinating things come, that is the endurance then, not to succumb to it. Maintaining the equipoise. Continuing. निगमाचार्य वाक्येषु भक्ति श्रद्धेति विश्रुता चित्तैकाग्र्यं तु संलक्ष्ये समाधानमिति स्मृतम्. Now there are two words again, last two words of the Shatkasampatti, Shraddha and Samadhan. So what is Shraddha? Nigamacharya Vakyeshu Bhakti Shraddheti Vishruta. Implicit faith, unquestionable faith, unquestionable conviction in the words of the Vedas, meaning Upanishads, and the teachers who are teaching those scriptures. Implicit, that is Shraddha. See, otherwise we can have Shraddha in addiction also. We can have, I want my tea, coffee every morning, story over. This is what happened. Shraddha in the words of the teacher. I was in Auckland with Swamiji, and I had, after Kailash Yatra, I had a bit of some upset stomach, so lot of ulcers in the mouth, on the tongue. Not on the lips or inside, but tongue. Bar, again and again they were coming. I don't know why. So when I went to Auckland, I was already having, I could not drink hot things, I could not eat chilies, I could not, anything hot or spicy, it will disturb. So I was not taking tea, I was not taking coffee. So Swamiji says, and Swamiji क्या करते हैं? अच्छा, the lady in the house, she was also Telugu, Padmaja, and Srinivas and Padmaja. So every day, normally when I go there for last so many years, always morning filter coffee is a must. And every day she'll say, Swami ji, filter coffee? I said, नहीं यार अभी तक मुंह ठीक नहीं है. Swami ji, filter coffee in the afternoon? My mouth is still not good. So filter coffee at night? Mouth is not good. 1 day, 2 day, and Swami ji was full दवा रहे थे. Morning also is having, afternoon also is having, the evening also is having with milk. Normally he doesn't drink milk. And because I want to cool it down, so I'm taking yogurt and I'm taking charge. He's taking that also. First day, second day, third day, fourth day. छाछ भी पी रहे हैं, दही भी खा रहे हैं, मिल्क भी पी रहे हैं, मिल्क कॉफी also is having. And after fifth day, he started having a bad tummy because he is not used to the milk. And अब जो कुछ भी है, मैं तो मजाक में बोल रहा हूँ कि टू कवर उनकी प्रॉब्लम मेरे ऊपर डाल दिया. कहते हैं तुमको बिल्कुल इच्छा नहीं हो रही है चाय पीने की. मैंने कहा नहीं, मैं आई वॉज नेवर अटैच्ड टू टी. मिलती है तो ठीक है, नहीं मिलती है तो भी ठीक है. व्हाट अबाउट कॉफ़ी? तेरे को तो बहुत अच्छी लगती है कॉफ़ी, यू ऑलवेज टेक मी आउट फॉर अ कॉफ़ी. स्वामी जी, लेट्स गो फॉर अ लाते, दिस दैट. ऐसे आई डू एन्जॉय, बट आई एम नॉट अटैच्ड टू इट. अच्छा, अंदर से यू आर नॉट फीलिंग द अर्ज लाइक आई हैव एवरी मॉर्निंग आई मस्ट हैव अ ब्लैक टी. यू डोंट फील यू हैव टू हैव अ टी और समथिंग. आई सेड नो. He said, then leave it. मैंने छोड़ दिया. This was on 10th of July. मैंने कहा छोड़ दिया. उस दिन से आज तक मैंने चाय कॉफ़ी नहीं पी. तो गुरु वाक्य में बोल रहा हूँ. कोई some trigger has to come from somewhere. I took it at that moment. I was not attached to it anyway. But when he said, मैं कहा अच्छी बात बोल रहे हैं ना, छोड़ दे. इसमें पकड़ने वाली चीज़ क्या है? देयर इज नथिंग टू होल्ड ऑन हियर विथ टी कॉफी. इट्स जस्ट एन एडिक्शन. छोड़ दिया. होप ही टेल्स मेनी अदर थिंग्स. अपनी बॉडी छोड़ दे. फिर नचिकेत की तरह आई विल हैव टू फाइंड अ वे एंड लीव द बॉडी. वो बोला नहीं. सो implicit faith in the words of the scriptures, of the Vedas. Veda, we are Sanatan Dharmi. So secondary is then Puranas and Itihas, but main is the Upanishads. Everything, Puranas must propagate the principles given in the Upanishads. The Itihas, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, or Ramayana and the Mahabharata, they must propagate the principles given in the Upanishads. Realized masters, if they have written some compositions, then they must also reflect the principles given in the Upanishads. That is the go-to place. So that is Shraddha. And then the Samadhan is the concentration of mind on the only subject, that is Brahman. Samadhan can only come if your mind is split into many avenues. It can never become content. The only contentment it can ever come, you are experiencing it. It becomes content when it goes back to its source in sleep, isn't it? We have to bring that about consciously. That go to sleep without, and keep watching that the mind has gone to sleep. That is Samadhan. Or maybe one step, penultimate step, when mind is focused, contemplative, attentive on the Satchidananda Swarup Atma or Brahman or Ishvara. Here the word Ishvara is not used, but first verse was there. So on any one of these, then Samadhan will automatically dawn on your mind. But if the mind is running after anything other than the truth, then God can also not save you. Continuing, Sansara bandha nirmuktihi
संसारबन्धनिर्मुक्तिः
katham me syat kada vidhaihi
कथं मे स्यात् कथाविधैः
iti ya sudridha buddhihi
इति या सदृढा बुद्धिः
vaktavya sa mumukshuta.
वक्तव्या
Sa mumukshuta. When and how shall I, O Lord, be free from the bonds of this world, births and deaths? Such a burning desire is called as mumukshutvam. What was the sadhana chatushtaya? Vairagya, vivek, shatkasampatti and mumukshutvam. So we have seen all the other three. We have seen vairagya, we have seen vivek, we have seen shatkasampatti, shama, dama, uparama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhan. One point I forgot to mention, where how do you do shama, dama, uparama and titiksha? You do it with shraddha. Why do you do it with shraddha? Meaning what? That because it is told in the scriptures, we must do it. Then don't try to use your brain. But what about my family? But what about my children? Get out then. Not this class for you. Here we are not here talking about children. We are not talking about sansar. We are talking about samadhan of your mind. If you are not ready for that, then who can help you? Only you can help yourself. So practice those four with shraddha. The result is samadhan. That is another way of putting it. Then only your attention will become available to the Brahman, to the Atma. Otherwise it's getting distracted, getting hijacked by something or the other. So, sansara bandha nirmuktaha muktihi katham me syat kada vidhe ananta sansara samudratara naukayitabhyam guru bhakti dabhyam vairagya samrajada pujanabhyam namo namah shri guru padukabhyam namo namah shri guru padukabhyam. See, so until and unless this question does not arise in you that this samsara, when I am going to get out of this samsara, while living in it, urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityor mukshayama amritat. You don't have to run away from this world. You don't have to commit suicide. While living in this world, you have assessed through vivek that there is nothing worthy of pursuit in sansar. It does not stop you from doing your duties. It does not. Akhandanandji Maharaj, you have heard of Akhandanandji Maharaj, some of you have heard. He was married. He had two sons. But his father was a pujari and he was a pujari. And he was, when father got old, when he was getting old, so he took his son, 14, 15-year-old son, who has studied Sanskrit, gone to the Sanskrit school, everything, and took him around, introduced to everyone, and now father sat home and he used to go for the pujas. And you go to puja, dakshina has to be got. So he used to go away for two months during Shravan Maas and all that, and other times. And when he used to go back, everyone is running towards him. He used to feel, oh, they all love me, they are missing me because I went away. But the moment he used to end, one day it happened. It happened many times, but that day it clicked him. And what is that it clicked him? He came back and everyone is running around and they were not happy that he has come. They want to know what presents he has brought, how much money has he collected. And then he decided not to go for any puja. For 1 month he stayed at home and he did not go to any house. And in that 1 month, the attitude of his parents, his wife, his children totally turned against him. Why? Dad is becoming lazy. How will we survive? So they want him to go out for their survival. See? And as this happened, intense vairagya, that is this what I am. Another example I'll give you about this was a Khandananji, another girl, a woman. She's learnt doing puja from someone in Melbourne, and she's got a son who's now working, 25, 28, 29-year-old, and she learns Vedic chanting from me. So she's learned the entire mantra pushpam. Learned means learned how to pronounce correctly. 2-3 ladies come, she's one of those. One day she came after chanting, she said, Swamiji, give me Ashirwad. I said, okay, take. Ashirwad is always available. If the Lord is giving, who am I? No, I am going to do my first puja independently today. And in Maharashtra, a lot of female priests are also there, unlike in the rest of the country. So I said, very good, all the best, do it properly, enjoy it. Swami, tell me something. I said, you go, but don't demand dakshina. Whatever they give you, you take. And you take the puja to be an opportunity to be in communion with God. Don't do it as a profession. I tell you, within 2 years, what a transformation in that lady. What a transformation. Otherwise it becomes mechanical. Pujari jata hai, khatkut. Everything is planned in the puja. But when it is coming with bhavana, correct bhavana, then the flavor is different. Sugandhim pushti vardhanam. It's nourishing them. Then the yajman also will enjoy the puja. Then it's not a job to be done and finished. See? So, sansara bandha nirmuktihi, when will I be free from this samsar? Why living in this? Iti yadrida buddhihi, and when I will be free from the bondages of this world. And what is the bondage? Bondage is not only about husband and wife and children and parents. One girl came and talked to me. Swamiji, when we were children, we were being told what to do, what not to do by our parents. So we had to serve our parents. When we grew up, my husband was demanding, I had to serve him. Then I had children, I had to serve the children. And now my children are grown up and my parents are getting old. Again they are demanding my time. When do I get free time? When do I get free time? I said, migrate. You will be free. True, isn't it? Yeah. Whole time you are. So that means for her, seva has become a burden. It is so. As a child, she was resentful towards serving her parents. As a grown-up married, she was not taking serving the husband or serving the children in the stride. There also some reservation was there. My space, my freedom, my time. That's what the kids are speaking nowadays. Where do they get it from? They don't get it from outside. They get it from their parents. That where is my free time? Then why? If there was no parents, will you be born? Then where's the question of my space and my time? What needs to be done has to be done. But it should lead with this recognition that I have got no time, that I got no space, that I am caught up in this whole samsara in this manner because of the relationships that I have cultivated and desired. Initially they are very joyful, no? A point must come in our life where enough is enough. Alam, enough. I want to be free. And free from what? Not free from all these people and wish them to die. No, not that freedom. Freedom from the cycle of birth and death. You have to do what you have to do where you are placed in life. But what is that cycle? What is this world? World is birth and death cycle. I want to be free of that. So if you want to be free of that, then while living in this world, doing your duties, you have to develop a mindset which is continuously focusing on the solution. And the solution is Brahma Chintanam or Ishvara Chintanam. Understand? While doing everything. We are also doing, we are also teaching, we are also eating, we are also going every here and there. But our connection to the Brahma Chintanam, it doesn't lose its momentum within. In our heart, it's a secret journey. Inside it is going on. We don't have to tell anyone, hey, don't disturb, I am doing Brahma Chintanam. Then they will purposely come and disturb. Then Pratiksha. It's a secret journey. By you to yourself, the true you. Outside, the drama has to continue. And in this way, this mumukshutva is the fourth aspect of the sadhana: vivek, vairagya, shatkasampatti, and mumukshan. And with this deep, intense desire to be free from the world, makes that student, makes that seeker, makes that disciple become a fit instrument to contemplate on the reality. If you have vivek, vairagya, shatkasampatti and no mumukshutvam, you will become a great pandit, but you will not be it will not lead to realization. Mumukshutvam is required to remain focused on the truth and to eventually be absorbed into it and recognize it as your own essential nature. So for that, you have to, whatever was told, you remember that and make yourself free from all previous convictions have to be given up, previous predispositions have to be given up, previous default settings have to be given up, previous fears have to be given up, previous phobias have to be given up. Everything has to be given up. That will be shamadama, uparama. And then whatever is at this moment coming, what life is presenting, endure it joyfully, with faith. And so these are the 4 steps by which one matures himself in the sadhana in order to abide in the truth as the truth. Ukta sadhana yuktena vichara purushena hi kartavyo jnana siddhyartham atmanah shubhamicchata. He says, only that person who is in possession of the above said qualifications, that is vivek, vairagya, shatkasampatti and mumukshutvam, these are the 4 means of knowledge. Knowledge here doesn't mean collection of information. Here means of knowledge means to know the truth. That truth is the ultimate knowledge, which is self-knowing. It does not require any means in order to know. He should constantly reflect with a view to attaining knowledge, desiring his own good. Kartavyo jnana siddhyartham. Diligently, regularly, he should work towards vairagya, he should work towards vivek, he should work towards shamadama, uparama, titiksha, shraddha, samadhan, and continuously maintain the fire of mumukshutvam within his heart and mind. Then and then alone, such a person, shubhamicchata, and this will bring about blessings upon him, because These are if you want to have a desire, have this desire of cultivating vivek, vairagya, shatkasampatti and mumukshutva. Don't desire the world, because whatever the world is going to give you is already predestined. Is already predestined. According to yoga, which yoni you are going to be born in. So you are luckily born in human yoni, but whatever yoni, those who die thinking of their dog or cat, they will go into that yoni. You must have thought of your husband or your wife, so you are born back or your child, so you are born in a human birth. So yoni is predetermined. You have got no the soul has, this is not the topic here, but I am mentioning it. The soul has no choice. Choice was when you are alive, but after death there is no choice. Depending upon your balance sheet, depending upon the last thought in your mind, your next birth is predetermined or determined. Second, how many breaths you are going to take in this life is also predetermined. People don't want to believe it, but you see around yourself, some children dying very early, someone only, where are we? Someone came and said, at Mani's house, someone came and she just had a miscarriage. And she was very teary-eyed. One year ago, within 2 months, she lost her mother, then she lost her father. And now 1 year later, she has a baby. The baby is also miscarriage. So she lives somewhere downstairs, came and crying, teary-eyed. Swamiji, I said, don't say anything. You are asking why. She said, yes. I said, no, why? Change your whole attitude towards the whole thing. You know, Ganga also had, Ganga consciously gave 7 kids to drowned them in the river. Was she heartless? No. How can Ganga be heartless? She's answering me. So I said, you also change your attitude. That soul found that coming through you, it needed only to experience that much life. And then it is free now. So you have become an instrument, a platform for freedom of one's soul. Better to think this way, no? Rather than think, why me, poor me, and go into depression. Hopefully it will help her thinking this way. So our thinking must make us more than who we are today. Not our thinking cowers us down and go into self-pity and depression. Whatever the event in your life, it has to bring out a new way of looking at everything. See? And that will, when you are living your life contemplating on vairagya, vivek, shatkasampatti, mumukshutvam, your goal is, human birth is gained for realizing the truth. That is the only purpose. Everything else is a bonus to live your life. Because you don't want to live alone, so company is good, and add value to the society by producing children, all that is good. But purpose is mumukshutvam, realize the truth. And that desire alone will be the best for you, not anything else. Every other desire will leave some memory behind, will leave some, if it is not fulfilled, it will lead to frustration, agitation. Or if there are people who are coming as an obstacle in your fulfillment of desire, then there is dislike or anger or hatred towards them. That is not complete you. You want to grow. You want to be wholesome. You want to be all inclusive. You want to take. You don't want to take everyone along, but at the same time you don't want to come across as a touch me not. Inclusivity is without thinking that you are doing good to anyone, good is happening. The sun doesn't think that he is doing good to us. He is just being where he is, and we organize our life. Only those Mahatmas who go around giving lectures and talking on Gita and scriptures, there are many Mahatmas who are sitting in one place, in the caves, in the forests, in their houses. Lahiri Mahasaya was one, sitting in the house and doing the concentration exercise or Samadhi Abhyas. And he helped so many Mahatmas, so many seekers. So get out of your default thinking that this is only what life is. There are many aspects to it. And therefore, the student or the seeker must constantly reflect and on the nature of this world. And this nature of the world is nothing is permanent, everything is temporary. Getting attached to temporary can never give you permanent satisfaction. So seek out what is permanent. There alone you will find the solace. There only you will find the tranquility. And in this way, mumukshutam is the highest good that one can aspire for. Notpadyate vinajnanam vicharenanya sadhanaihi yatha padartha bhanam hi prakashena vina kvachit. Knowledge is not brought about by any other means than vichara. Only through discrimination you can come to, this is lower knowledge, we are not talking about the ultimate. The knowledge comes about only through discrimination, by thinking. Thinking is what? Having thoughts is equal to thinking? I am asking. Having thoughts is equal to thinking? Then what is thinking? You should read Swamiji's book, Either Think or Worry. Those thoughts, simple rule. I don't know if it is given, I have not read it. Those thoughts which take you away from yourself into multiplicity, it's called worrying. Those thoughts which take you from multiplicity to the one principle or the God principle, that is thinking. That will lead to knowledge. Simple rule. Now keep assessing yourself, where you stand. When you talk to someone, people, you must have seen, you are talking to me for last 4 or 5 days. How much time we talk about the world? We begin with the world. But immediately after 5, 7, 10 minutes, the topic changes and we go back to the self. Is your presence bringing about the same for other people? When you are talking to other people, when you are interacting with other people, when you are with your children, with your husband or with your wife, are you consciously again and again coming back to the conscious self, or you are lost in the world? And you have to do it. Classroom is a different manner. Here it is a different. We are very focused. But we were walking, we were talking like that, we were joking and everything. So like that, you continuously, your orientation should be towards the self. That will only happen if you have mumukshutvam. When you have become convinced in your mind and intellect that the purpose of human birth is to realize the self. This is the window I have got. I don't know about next life, I don't know about past life. They say about next life, but nobody has come back and told me that there is a next life. This is the only opportunity. Once you become convinced, that's the first step. Second, then you will aspire for it. As you aspire for it and that becomes your focus, then but don't make it a serious matter. Do it while doing everything in life. Inside, your attitude is that every activity, every word, all that I am seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, everything that I am thinking must bring me back to the self. It is an opportunity for me to come back to the self. It is not an opportunity because, oh, what movie? Which movie? I also saw that movie. I have not seen that movie. Which you're losing yourself. Which movie? I am watching a movie. All the time I am in a movie. Immediately you come to the witness. I am just giving one example. But that does not stop me from going to movie with children. Wise children, with Swamiji also I take him. Knowledge is brought about notpadyate vina jnanam vicharenanya sadhanaihi. Knowledge is not brought about by any other means than vichara, thinking. And I told you what is thinking and worrying. When you are thinking about those thoughts which are taking you towards the world is worrying. Those thoughts which are taking you towards, which help you to think less, even if you take it that way, not necessarily towards the truth, but those thoughts which make you go away from the multiplicity to that one principle, to that God principle, to some principle. That is thinking. Just as an object is nowhere perceived without the help of a light, so what is that power? What is that X factor? Which is what is that force? Star Wars. What is that force? What is that power? What is that X principle? Whenever we want to find an answer in trigonometry or mathematics, we put the X, isn't it? Then you find the value of X. Exactly the same way. What is that X factor? Because of which, the world is seen. Oh, world is seen because of the eyes. Oh, what yeah? I know that I got eyes are there. I got eyes inside also. In the dream also I see. And I know that the eyes, the five senses are there. So that means the eye of the five senses is the mind. Without the mind, I cannot come to know the five senses. Yeah, very good conclusion. But after some time, you will realize that, yeah, I also see the thoughts coming and going. Then who is seeing the thoughts? How can mind see the thoughts? Mind is the place where thoughts are coming and going. So who is seeing the thoughts coming and going? I am seeing. I answer that only. In which one I am? I am the seer, I am the thinker, or I am the witness? Search it, find out the value of that X factor. That value of X factor cannot be found outside. The value of that X factor is you alone. You are, when you come to realize Aham Brahmasmi, so you kept that X was Brahman, 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 or Atma, 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 and then one day I am Atma. That Nisargadatta Maharaj, you heard of Nisargadatta Maharaj? I am that. So he went to one teacher. He was a cigarette stall owner. And one shack, khoka, in that he used to sell the cigarettes, one or two, or make pan. And one day his friend used to ask him, come, let's go for the satsang in Khar. Ramakrishna Mission is there. I have to work, man, I have to make money, this, that. When his son passed year 11, one day he said, the friend was passing by, hey, you didn't call me today? Okay, I'll come today. He went. Very uneducated. He is only 8th pass. Son is 11th pass. Goes to the satsang in those same clothes, sits there, and the teacher was talking on Keno Upanishad. And there he said, how do I come to know what you are telling? Eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind. He says, you are that. You don't have to find. You are that. He says, really? How do I contemplate on this? He told him something, and he says, the day you come to realize, the instruction is you are that. The realization is I am that. You see? And he sat, came back the same day, locked himself in a one room kholi. Wife and son are out in the kitchen. They are sleeping in the kitchen. That is also bathroom, toilet, everything. Locked. He says, cook the food. If I eat, I eat. If I don't, I'll give. Don't ask me any questions. No interaction. 2 years later, a realized master emerged from the room. 2 years later. Give yourself 2 years. It's not a big ask. Once all your responsibilities are over, children are grown up, give yourself. But उसके लिए मुमुक्षुत्व चाहिए. You need to have मुमुक्षुत्व. Conclude with this. Just as an object is nowhere perceived without the help of light, so are we seeing the world in the light of the sun? Are we seeing the world in the light of the senses or the eyes? Are we seeing the world in the light of the mind? Or are we seeing the world in the light of consciousness that I am? Come to confirm this within yourself through inquiry. Not because I have said it, not because scriptures are saying it. It must be your own direct assessment and conclusion. Words can be ours, of the scriptures. But then you have to remind yourself and come to, yes, man, this is what it is. Then you will not sway. Then you will not fall. Then you will be committed. Because mumukshutvam is there, yes, I must know myself. That is a worthy goal to pursue in this life. To know the self, that you are the self, in that karma has got no play, in that upasana has got no play. It's only a question of you knowing or not knowing. But then should we not do karma? Karo. जब हो रहा है तो हो रहा है. Remember, karma is done by karta. Understand? Karta, you understand? Doer. Karma is done by a doer. But there is another thing. When is a doer born? When he identifies with a kriya and says, I am doing the kriya, then he becomes the doer and the kriya is called as karma. Correct? Is kriya done by someone or it is happening? It's happening. Kriya is happening. But this idiot identifies with the kriya and says, I am hungry. I am digesting the food. Oh, you digested? Since when? I thought tummy I digested. The fires in the liver, they burned everything and the fire, Jatragni digested the food. But you have the audacity to say, I digested the food. I got up. I went to sleep. I grew. I have put on so much weight. I have reduced the weight. I have this disease, now I have become healthy. All this is wrong conclusions about yourself. Karma also gives you karma phala. Kriya also gives you kriya phala. Agree? Karma phala is binding. Karma phala leaves an impression, a vasana, a memory in your mind. Kriya phala is not binding. So you remain a witness and allow kriya activity that is happening, allow it to happen. You don't have any, you're not expecting anything, don't want anything from it. Then whatever is in your destiny, that will happen. Whatever the result is, there is no one to own. If there is no one to own, where will that result go? It will go back to the Lord. It will go back to the creation. Because no owner. But if there is an owner called Karta, that I did it, again a new memory is created, which becomes the reason for. So therefore karma must be done only for purification. Karmani chitte shuddhartham. Karma should be done only to purify your chitta, to purify your mind of memories. So that, and what does it mean? That when you are doing puja, when you are doing your duties, when you are doing your japa, upasana is also, japa sadhana is also, in one sense it is karma only. You are doing your going on. But what are you doing? You are replacing all other impressions in your mind by a new impression called Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And when you do it diligently, do it with bhav, it helps. But japa cannot take you to the ultimate. Japa must lead to knowledge. Japa must lead to a point where you become the sakshi of the japa that is going on in your mind. Then the next stage opens up. See? And in this way, the seeker gradually withdraws from the world, from the senses, from the mind, from the thoughts, from the convictions, from the witness, and eventually falls back to his original position. This is the journey. You will just read the verse and look at it next time. Koham kathamidam jatam.
Koham katamidam jatam.
Ko vai kartasya vidyate.
Ko vai kartasya vidyate.
Upadanam kimastiha.
Upadanam kimastiha.
Vichara soyamidrushaha.
Vichara soyamidrushaha.
So now, what are the questions worthy of asking? That is told in this verse. We'll look at it in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.